hero like Venomancer with high AoE damage, good damage over time, and just being able to annoy people with the ward spread out, I think is a good hero. If he gets a good amount of farm, this is actually being played by Bone7, so it's going to be an offlane Veno and a 4-position or 4/5 position Spirit Breaker. And I like this decision. I think prioritizing farm on Venomancer, especially in this game, is going to be a lot better than prioritizing farm as a core on the Spirit Breaker.
Oh yeah, for sure. And well, the nice thing is he's going to be able to keep the tower up fairly reliably, so it's going to be hard to push down early. Harder at the very least, even though EG with the Drow Ranger. That actually will be played by Arteezy, so they're going to be able to take towers quickly, but he's going to be able to hold the tier 1 at top a little bit longer. And he's a good candidate to prioritize an early mechanism as well, freeing up other items for C9 to put their gold towards. And I actually didn't see what was said there. Yomi and Hags.
Yeah.
Says Feta. So unfortunate for him. But smoke from EG going to be ineffective. They didn't get a ward down though.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be very effective because they actually, I don't know if they specifically did this, but Arteezy was unsmoked, and he was just walking up here in the top river, and Bone7 saw it. He could have maybe just tried to do some kind of shenanigans and hurt him a little bit, but they were all smoked in front of Arteezy, who was showing himself. So I thought Bone7 was going to die there, and I don't even think he sniffed it out. I think he was just like, oh, I'm going to place the ward and come back to the lane to try to block him. Unfortunate smoke usage there from EG does not connect.
Bounty rune spawns at bottom. And I think Universe learned his lesson. I'm pretty sure the last time we casted the EG, it was against Polar, and Universe, didn't he feed like First Blood in this, like right here, like 3 times as Jakiro?
Yes.
It was at least twice, if not 3.
Yeah, it was like with similar heroes too in back-to-back games. Fata should know that there's Psy Invis. They pinged it out. They have full knowledge of this, so hopefully for his sake he doesn't die here. He's gotten Feeble onto him level 1 as well. We used to see this all the time when Bane was a lot more popular. And yeah, as a result, he's actually going to have a hard time starting out this lane against Arteezy.
We'll keep an eye on the mid matchup for now. It is going to be rotated down into an aggressive tri-lane as PPD and Zai both making their way down. Couple of seconds left on the Invis. They might be able to get eyes on Pylai Die, and they do. There's a dual breath to lead. Magic Missile next. PPD only has Enfeeble, but they should have enough right click to bring him down. AUI is making his way over. It's going to be close. And he had charge if he ever wanted to try to use it, but a lot of damage done, so no first blood, despite a lot of damage being done to our big blue bull.
Yep, had he had a different spell on PPD, I think that's definitely a kill. But wanted to use the Enfeeble just to screw with Puck just a little bit, and Puck is actually not doing too bad as a result. He had to deal with the Invis rune from Zai, had to deal with the Enfeeble, a little bit of pressure mid, but he's up to 5 and 3, so this is just showing the power of Fata mid on this hero specifically.
This is going to be a Quas Wex, at least it would seem from Fear. And this is what I was talking about. I really, really like this decision. The Exort obviously has its strengths, but just with the heroes like the Spirit Breaker, like the Slark in particular, and like the Puck to a certain extent, that just want to be up in your face, having Tornado EMP to push them back is a big deal. And Envy, speaking of being pushed back, takes a little bit of damage, but does pounce his way back to the tier 1.
I do find it a little strange though that they're aggro tri-laning with a Quas Wex Invoker and solo short. Just because it's so much easier to be effective across the map, especially with a Nightmare setup with an Exort Invoker. So that's the only thing I do find a little bit strange.
Well, Envy right now is having a little bit of a struggle. He's at 6 CS, not the end of the world, but this is only going to get worse as they continue to interfere down here. It is an excellent point you make about not having the Sunstrike to throw early on, but they're going to be able to wear Envy out pretty effectively. He might catch a Magic Missile here and will. Nicely timed pounce, though. Disjoints the projectile, so it makes it away with neither damage nor stun to worry about. We're going to have C9. Oh, AUI. Oh, trying to get the courier. Got it. He got that courier.
Has been killed.
AUI came over and actually grave chilled a creep, and but did end up sniping the courier with auto attack. So good anticipation and a big win there for C9.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, Arteezy did get his item, but he's not going to have boots for a while as a result. So, and also that's just a nice surgence of gold, making something happen across the map. They know that they don't really win this lane bottom. Envy's out of regen; he can't really CS anymore at all. So nice movement there from Maui.
And Nightmare connects despite the pounce. There's a dual breath. Here comes Pylai Die. If they get a Magic Missile, they'll kill him. He's dead anyway. Just burns down, and Pylai Die is yet to use charge. Don't know that it would have made much of a difference there, as the damage over time is what counted. Arteezy, though, sniffs out the gank attempt on mid. We're going to have Fata jump right on top of him, trying to body block him. Here comes the charge from Pylai Dai. And he's trying to make it up the hill. There's going to be the Grave Chill. They're going to have the damage gap. AUI is actually hitting him really hard, so bring him down relatively easily inside, trying to get in a position to do something. He's going to maybe end up dead. No bash. So, a little bit of a save your buddy syndrome coming into play, but Zai luckily doesn't end up paying the price. However, make it 1-1. 4-minute rune coming up right now. And Feita will be able to snag that bounty. It'll be an invis at the top.
Envy's just posting in mid as well. Maybe they just do some lane swaps and have Fata farm from the bottom lane, the safe lane. Certainly could work out. Bone 7 up top is doing just fine for himself. 20-2 compared to 22-2 for the Invoker. It's kind of like a wash, but that's very, very good for the Venomancer, I feel. Like, Invoker wants to pull very far ahead. Venomancer just does a lot more with early farm than I think the Invoker does. I know it is Quaswex, who's a more early game oriented Invoker rather than Exort, but I think this benefits actually C9 a little bit more.
Now they're moving Zai up there. He's going to get his pull on and maybe try to zone Bone out. Bone is getting a little low in mana, still can drop a few wards here and there. That invis finally bottled up by Phaeton, and that have been there for a long time. I've got to stop being schizophrenic about what I call him. Sometimes it's Fata, sometimes it's Phaeton. I don't know. I've heard both used by many people, so.
I say Gyrocopter all the time. I know people flame me for that, so whatever. Just call him what you want.
His name is F God. That's get used to it. Down at bottom, Slark is still really being shut down. Envy made his way back down and relinquished mid to the puck. 15 CS for him. He's being out CS'd by the Jakiro right now. And I mean, he's not in horrible position, all things considered, but giving up that death, and now Universe going to be on his way to a very quick Yules after his Tranks, which we already see are done. I feel like they need to switch something up. AUI is just level 3 as well, so they certainly want to get him closer to 6 as soon as they possibly can. And Zai posting in mid now, and we'll see if Pylai 9 wants to try to do something cute.
It's been so close. They've almost spotted him out with both Zai and the Courier right there, but I actually don't think they saw him. He's been here for a while. It might see. Nope, they're still going to not spot him out just because it's nighttime right now. So Invis popped here by Fata, and there's the charge. Yep, he's dead. Zai just left too. Very annoying, and it's going to be a very easy kill onto Arteezy.
Pylai Dai takes a little bit of damage. Let's see if Zai can catch him with a magic missile. Got him. Is he going to have the follow-up damage? Couple of right clicks. No. Coil's going to be spent by Fata to try to save Pylai Dai, and it will be effective. So even though PPD made his way over, got there a little too late. Nice effort from Zai to try to follow it up, but a really nice play and heads-up call made by Phaeton. Usually you want to hang on to your coil for something a little bit more valuable, but that time just making sure it was an even exchange for Arteezy, certainly worthwhile to him.
Yeah, and also if he had blown the coil onto the kill on Arteezy, he wouldn't have been able to save Pylai Dai right there. So nice resilience, or sorry, nice restraint there from Fata in saving his spells and using them when they really matter. And as a result, you know, Zai's had to move around a lot. This is going to give up a little bit more space to Eternal Envy, but oh my god, he's taking so much damage, dot damage from this this Jakiro. And just like that, he goes to nothing. Desperately wants level 6 so he can actually regen his HP, and he will get it after one more creep.
There it is. And kind of surprised Universe didn't toss out. Oh, speaking of Universe, he's going to be getting charged. PPD is right there, and they're bringing down 4. They want to make this a big win. And Universe backed up, and they are going to go ahead and cancel the charge. And there's going to be an ice path, as Universe seemed to have sniffed it out. And PPD there right behind him. This is a pretty big waste of time for C9.
Yeah, they are trying to gank this Venomancer, who's just set up a massive wall of wards. He's actually feeding a lot of them to Fear. I'm looking at Fear CS. I'm like, wait, why is his CS so high?
Yep.
But it's because he's just getting a lot of CS from the wards, so gotta be a little bit careful about that if you're not getting too much done with them. He is pressuring this lane a little bit, but actually hasn't really put that much damage into the tower, so maybe it's not that effective.
Still waiting to see if there's going to be any movement on a Pylai Dai. And just going to wait and pre-rune 8, see what he finds. Will be a bounty at bottom and a regen at top. And there's going to be a bash on the Zai. As he's kicked up the stairs. Finally throws a magic missile just to make sure he gets away safely. Making his way up to the high ground. There is a rotation coming, and wow, Pylai Dai chasing him all the way. But had help behind him. AUI right there, as was Fata. Finally, Bone 7 has left that top lane, but I'm like you. They're giving Fear an awful lot here. He's got phase and drums up and is in quite nice shape. Now here's going to be a charge on Arteezy mid. Immediately canceled. There was a gust as well. Zai's right there. Doesn't have enough mana for a magic missile, though. PPD just level 4. Tornado does catch the puck. Let's see if they can get something done. He's going to turn back around. He tried to coil. Looked like he wanted to anyway. Now he drops it, but they finish him off with a brain set. So EG, despite eating a 3-man coil, manages to get a very high priority kill onto Fake Top. Bone 7 is going to be going Mechanism. I like this choice from him a lot. Most of the time whenever I see core and farming Venomancers, it's only really effective and only really translates well to the mid game whenever you go something like a mech that the whole team benefits from, as opposed to trying to go like a semi-carry kind of a wonky build. But now with EG bringing the puck down and the coil down and on cooldown, they're going to go right on into Roshan with Arteezy at 8, doing great damage, and Zai, of course, using his minus armor.
I actually think Veno fed a lot of gold to the Invoker. Like he's got way more fun than he should. And it's not like he's just speaking of, they're actually doing Roshan, and it probably will fall here. Not enough retaliation here from CLOUD9 to actually get this. Although they're moving over there, but it's just a little bit too late.
There's going to be the ulti going off on the bottom of it. Zai, in the meantime, cleaned up from below. They may be able to take a pretty big win here. Arteezy's doing what work he can. He does have the Aegis, and Bone 7 will end up dropping. They end up feeding the Aegis in the meantime. Universe is still caught inside of the pit, and Arteezy may just have to run, and that's exactly what he's going to do. PPD, by some miracle, despite being the one who was spotted the earliest, does manage to survive, and Arteezy makes it away. So they end up giving 2 away for 1. However, they did get the kill on Roshan, but they're going to get Peter. They got just enough vision up in from the creeps to charge him. And they get another kill. So well played by CLOUD9. They got to Roshan too late to prevent the big boy from dropping, but they certainly got their comeuppance for it.
Yeah, they actually won that exchange too. If you look at the graphs, it did go down with the Roshan, but immediately back up just with a better exchange. 6-3 kill score here, lead for CLOUD9. And yeah, I was wondering, like, maybe if they just sent a support or two to sit behind Bone 7, because if you dive past a wall of wards, you're just all going to die. And speaking of Bone 7, he's going to lose all of his mana right here.
Yep, Bone 7 at top. Cleaned up with the right clicks. So decent kill for Fear. And it's becoming pretty obvious Fear's going to have to be a big part of their success. Now, though, Jakiro, given all that attention in bottom, has finished his Yule Scepter. So nice pickup for him in a very timely manner. If you're EG, is there a sweet spot you want to hit right here, Trouf? Is there like a time when you want to go try to force fights? Or are you still just hoping to farm and get Arteezy a little bit further ahead?
I think, speaking of Arteezy, he's actually getting coiled right now. Nice silence, though, to stop it. Actually stops the charge, too.
And they're going to be able to clean him up, it would seem. Peter's right there. Right-clicking the wrong target. Arteezy's going to be able to make it away, and there's a Fiend's Grip. They're going to get Pylite Die. In the meantime, down at bottom, we can see Zion Universe able to keep themselves alive as well. So 2 failed gank attempts, and AUI now could end up dead. He's going to have Yules in 5 seconds, but not wanting to engage back into the Slark. 6-5 in the blink of an eye off of 2 decent attempts at ganks from C9. And that's going to leave them reeling. And hell, they're not done. They may end up getting the Slark anyway, and they do. So EG finds not just a kill, but a very nice one on a struggling EG or struggling EE already, who is less farmed, basically just exactly the same farmed as his 4-position Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, not good. I think EG's totally outplaying this game. Excuse me, I thought draft was a big issue in game 1. Arteezy played fantastically in game 2, and then this game, did you see that grip there by PPD as well? There was literally like a 20 HP puck just sitting there, but he felt that the priority was just to save Arteezy, and by doing so was by gripping the other hero. Let puck go, but definitely made the right decision. It was like a split-second decision made, and it definitely was the right one. So really well played by Peter, but just the rest of EG totally outplaying CLOUD9 in this juncture. And again, I just think that the feeding of the wards up top just really put Fear into a fantastic position. He's way over farmed than what he should be. And he just sat there just killing the wards. It wasn't like the wards were really doing anything. I think it's a big problem.
Look at his tier 1. Like usually you see ward spam like that, you expect to get some damage under the tower, and it's relatively untouched. In the meantime, this ancient stack being cleaned up by Arteezy. 3 Wraithband build, nothing particularly odd in that. And he's picked up a what's it called? Band of Elven Skin. I was going to call it Glove of Elven Skin because I'm dumb and bad at this game. But the Band of Elven Skin. And so Yasha could be on the way for him as well. And I really haven't felt too much influence from this Spirit Breaker. Maybe we'll see it now, as there's going to be the swap on side. Using it to swap out Pylite Knight, who was trying to charge him. There's the Shadow Dance from EE, though, so finally getting some work done. In the meantime, Fear comes in. He's going to be able to finish off the Spirit Breaker. Phaeton making his way back across the mid line. And let's see, are they going to chase? No. They end up going 1 for 1, as Zai did die in the midst of all of it. But they end up killing the Spirit Breaker nonetheless. And now EG going to immediately smoke and try to make something happen. Up at top, Bone 7 seems to be the target. He is getting a little bit of room for himself and his wards this time. And this should be a free one if they get there in time. Phaeton is showing his face as well. He does have coil. It could be a twofer if EG engages this correctly. They're going to loop around from behind. They're going to find out they have 2 targets and not 1. And Universe spots Phaeton. Phaeton immediately silences him. There's the Yules, though. And no Ice Path. And now here comes the Spirit Breaker in. There's going to be the ulti off from Bone 7. In the meantime, Macropyre does go down. Caught Phaeton with the Ice Path as well. He's going to die to the Tornado. Behind that, Universe still in a lot of trouble, but Fear just pecking away at Pylite Eye with the Cold Snap active. And PPD there to finish him off with a Brain Sap. Bone 7 did what he could, which was get off his ulti and spam out the wards. It just doesn't matter, as right now EG's a little too far ahead, and this is kind of what I was talking about in terms of how, if they managed it correctly, having Fear in particular on this Invoker that has gone Quas Wex, just being able to stand and brawl and punish them for coming in as close and grouping up like this. Make it 8-10 now, EG's lead.
In the midst of that too, Envy got solo killed by Arteezy. He actually alt chatted. He's like, ZZ, I didn't see it, but he must have just screwed up.
Yep.
I don't know what happened, but he is so underfarmed. Envy's done nothing this game, unfortunately, on the Slark. He's got treads to his name and an Orb of Venom. And this is your priority farm with the Visage and the Spirit Breaker trying to back you up. Obviously, the laning phase didn't go too well, but he's fed off a couple free ones now, and Arteezy will gladly take that gold.
Net worth-wise, we can see it is Arteezy and Fear at the top. And Fear's coming very, very close to having his Orchid done now. Like, basically, I mean, he more or less has it in just a few hundred more gold. At bottom, another smoke from EG. They may have a chance to catch up with AUI. Zai did take swap at level 6. Nope, AUI. Clearing the hell out of dodge a little too quickly for EG to catch up. They are going to flash to mid. And Envy just healing up with his passive. But doesn't look like they want to target. This path right here is so dangerous. You know, like heading down, like whenever you're smoking, especially when you head down that way, it's tempting when you see a target in mid, but so often you run into an entire team you had no idea was there.
Yeah, it could be bad. PPD has a haste rune just popped. And look at how much damage he gets from this Drow Aura. 52 extra damage for the Bane. And when they're all ranged heroes, it's so good, so good. Oh, Fear is in trouble actually with a charge and a coil.
Yep. They just, it was free. They caught him out by himself, and it looks like they're going to end up trading tier 1s because of it.
Radiant's bottom
he does
tower
almost have his Orchid, so unfortunately we'll get stalled just a little bit, but God, 120 CS for an Invoker, man. This hero does not CS well.
Oh, great deny! Yeah, I was actually watching the, I knew AUI was going to try it, and he timed it very well, and very well played from him, as he was actually pushing the tier 1 at top too.
Envy's actually almost got his blink now. He must have got credit. Nope, he didn't get the kill. Okay. Well, he's almost got his blink. He desperately needs that, but a really nice deny from Owie. He's well on his way to his axe as well.
9-10, Cloud9 counter-punching quite well. They've put a dent into that lead, which honestly wasn't even all that big. They've cut it down more than half. We're basically at even. 1K in favor of EG right now, but quite negligible as we approach the 20-minute mark. And experience-wise, a little bit of a bigger gap there, so EG happy to be out-leveling them some. If they can get a kill on EE... Oh, he got him with the Gust. I thought we were going to see Zai swap in there. They were just going to Gust him after, but not the case. Instead, just letting him go.
Yep, I think Arteezy really needs to BKB this game. Like, I don't think that Puck is going to have an axe anytime soon. He's not farming like all that great, but even if he did, I still think BKB is extremely important.
And EE just lost every bit of his mana. However, he did get off Shadow Dance first. And he's able to make it back to safety, so that's 2 or 3 times he was in some trouble near that mid lane, but does manage to survive effectively. Now Universe is going to be charged up. Never mind, that Yule's very effective at taking the big bull's plans out of his hands. And EG looks like they want to counter push off of it. This is where, again, I love the Jakiro pick. Even, you know, they're going to take it not just relatively easy, super easy because of the bonuses that this Drow Ranger's giving. And I mean, just look at this tower health. But also, you know, it's what a Jakiro does. It allows you, and a Drow Ranger, allows you to take little wins and make them big.
Yep, absolutely. A little bit of space for Aoi up top. So he's closing in on his axe. Needs another 2k for that, but that'll be very good for him. And finally, Envy gets an item on to his name with the Blink Dagger. So at least has something under his belt. The support charge farming not too bad. Speaking of, there's a charge action under Fear.
There's going to be a coil smith, and the charge is going to be canceled. They're going to get him for free. Behind that, there's a battle going on down in the river. There's going to be a Fiend's Grip on the Pylai Die. It is Slark who finishes off Fear's Invoker right at the end. Bone 7 caught with a gust. Oh, the ice path was so close. Oh, universe. It's a game of milliseconds, my friend, and a little short on that one. 10 to 11, though, as they end up trading kills. And I would say Cloud9's happy with that trade, getting the Invoker in exchange for a lowly 4-position Spirit Breaker.
Lowly, but definitely more farm than EG supports. Like, looking at the supports, 5k net worth for Aoi, 4.2k for the Spirit Breaker who just died. And the supports in EG are not really close to that. In fact, Zai is the bottom one below PPD. So, and that's not too good. Like, EG kind of prides himself on their 4th position, getting a lot more farm than most teams, but not so much the case this team, or this time. But at least they have Roshan on their side, and this is the dire pick coming into effect as well. With Zai, with Arteezy, this Roshan stays on the chance.
Yep. Very much agreed.
Tower is under attack.
The Blink Dagger is the pickup on the Venomancer. I actually like that quite a bit. The mech first, I think, is essential, but now not only being able to keep yourself alive, but just if you can catch 3 and 4 people with your ulti, and especially if you keep farming at this rate and eventually get a Veil, that damage is no joke, man.
Yeah.
And EG, I mean, you've got Jakiro who's kind of tanky, but other than that, you're not going to be seeing a lot of survivability built on EG for the most part, outside of the BKB, as you already mentioned. But you know, that's kind of another factor that's going to place the ulti from the Venomancer to begin with. And,
oh man,
wow.
Fear gets a free one with that new Orchids onto Eternal Envy.
Very nice.
And I talked about this, yeah, he's very elusive at the beginning, but he does not have a lot of HP, and a nice fast Orchids just totally shuts him down. But yeah, I agree with you. I loved the Veno pick this game. I think Cloud9 picking the Veno was a fantastic pick for them. Don't think they got enough out of it in the early stages, and I think he fed too much of his wards, but yeah, I agree, because in this lineup doesn't want to build BKBs. Like, the only one that does is the Drow. If Invoker doesn't want to, he's probably going to have to if the game keeps going even into the later stages of the game. They're trying to catch Aoi. They know he's still here, and they're trying to find his birds, but they can't.
Yeah, they've come close a couple of times. Up. I think PPD just got eyes on them, but they're heading elsewhere. I want to see if they continue the hunt for AUI. Does have a TP, so he's just hanging around and wasting EG's time right now. And we are going to see Cloud9 heading towards a defensive position for this tier 1. Let's see if they want to fight it. They're going to be a charge anyway. The birds are going to come in from behind. And there's going to be the tornado. And now they're going to try to catch him out. There's going to be the ulti from Bone 7. That caught basically no one. Charge coming in on Fear. Very bizarre fight there. Arteezy's now in the woods, but he's turning and now pecking down that Venomancer. He uses the mech. It isn't going to be enough. Arteezy trying to get right on that. He way too far forward, but the gust silences him out, and Fear still running him over. And that was really just kind of really strange. Like, that's the only phrase I really know how to use there is the ultis went off and not a whole lot came of it. They're going to lose 2 towers over it.
I think Bottom tried to be way too cute. I think he was trying to go for some kind of Blink Yules deny orb outplay, but it just failed. He was way too slow. He got caught with the silence in the middle of all of it, and yeah, I think he just tried to do too much and it really cost him.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
2 towers down just like that. We've actually got Fear, who finally caught up with AUI. Misses him with the tornado. There's a resummon of the creeps. Of the birds, rather, and the stuns. Dude, get him away.
Goddamn player, man. Holy
he is such a stud on this hero. He really is.
Radiant's top tower.
Universe now rotating. And gonna get the rules and the ice path onto Envy. PPD. Waiting for his opportunity. Good leap up to the high ground, though. Good pounce up to the high ground. He had Fiend's Grip, and he certainly would have spent it if he could have. But as it stands, EG, who seem to have been giving ground, gets back quite a bit of it. And they're back in control of their own destiny.
And I believe, yeah, that's a pipe here coming out for Jakiro. So they're thinking, as we were talking about, yeah, this Veno's a great pick. He's got the blink to initiate with a nice, easy poison Nova, but the pipe is going to nullify a lot of that. Here comes Fear as well. This is going to be a very, very free kill if he gets in the right position.
There's the tornado. Not even going to have the EMP. Just look at him. Gonna right-click him. Has to be conscious of the birds, though. And he's taking a little bit of damage, but PPD right there to help him clean up. There's going to be a charge on the Fear. And we'll see if they're going to allow this to complete or not. Nope, there's going to be a blink in from Eternal Envy. Immediately trying to ghost walk, but brought down with the AoE. Now there's going to be a coil spin on PPD, who's now the charge target. And brought down. That's a gem on the ground as well, by the way. So a little bit of hubris from Fear and PPD, and very well played from C9 to get their boys in position for revenge. As that's a pretty damn good return kill for that Venom.
Really is, actually. Jakiro gets a haste rune. He will be spotted up with his defensive ward, but yeah, with the gem on the board now for Venomancer, it's gonna be really easy to find all these wards in these nooks and crannies, just because you can use the vision of the plague wards. And Owie almost has his axe now. Hasn't died yet. That was such a good play, by the way, too. That was really good. Charge bottom.
There it is. Arteezy the target, and gonna die. Hits a gust off, and it doesn't matter. Loses his agents. And looks like they want to make him pay again. The universe in the realm will try to help him out. By his lonesome, there's going to be the ulti that does connect on Arteezy. They're going to get him anyway, and they make a universe because of it. The universe trying to help his buddy out, but getting no help from anyone else on the team. He's going to lay an ice path that everyone's going to have to maneuver around. But they are going to catch him. In fact, Bone 7 spins the ult just to guarantee. Now Fear's going to come back in. Jakiro's definitely down. Beta going to be tossed up into the air. Bone 7 trying to TP up. Beta's going to make it out to the side. There's going to be the tornado that secures the kill on the Venomancer, but the rest should be able to make it back to safety. Pylai died disengaged a while ago, and Feta able to slide out. So once again, they're getting trades, but they're just killing the Veno. They need to get a lot more from that if you're going to give up Arteezy and Jakiro.
I mean, EG's really good about their team play. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking no other team would actually still try to help out Arteezy. Like, every other team would be like, oh no, dude, you're dead. I'm not going to risk my life. I mean, maybe it was the wrong call from Universe, but Fear came in there and maybe tried to get something done before he died. If he gets there a little bit sooner, they actually turn it much more favorably. So this wouldn't happen with any other team. They're very, very good with their team play. I know they didn't win that exchange, but it could have been better for CLOUD9.
Do believe our good friend Zai is working on a veil, as he's picked up his Helm of Iron Will, and would expect to see that coming out sooner rather than later for C9. But not going to be the case, as it looks like it's going to be a BKB being built on Bone 7. So, BKB or Halberd? Maybe a Halberd for Drow?
Oh god, actually he's in a little bit of trouble. He needs to get a blink, but it doesn't happen for a long time, and yeah, he's dead.
Good kill for them. One they kind of needed, too. They were beginning to lose serious momentum, and that kind of brings things a little bit back to even, at least allows them to stabilize some.
He's actually almost the least farmed hero on his team. He's going to get passed up here in just a second by Owie, any second right here, because he's dead, and Owie just needs a creep kill. And he will pass him up, and then another 400 gold underneath the Spear Breaker. Or, sorry, another 400 gold is the Spear Breaker, who just picked up a BKB. This is really, really bad game for Eternal Envy. Yeah, there it is. He's in the 4th position now for his team.
Tough going. And he's still down for 20 seconds. We'll see if we're going to find 5-position Eternal Envy to be a reality. We're going to have EG looking to reset and make something happen in this bottom lane, perhaps. They've got Universe out beside Arteezy. And we can see CLOUD9 with out there. And yep, they're going to engage onto it. And here comes Pylai Die. There's going to be PPD and Universe coming back in, though. Nightmare defensively on Arteezy. And see if that'll get him away. There's going to be a toss in the air and coming back down into a macro pyre as well as an ice path. At least one going in favor of EG. And they baited that pretty damn well. It takes a lot of balls to do that after you've already lost him a couple of times to those style of ganks. But had the team in the right position that time. Zai's left by his lonesome up at top. And never mind, he actually went Helm of the Dominator. I would have thought it would have been a Veil.
I was actually going to say that. I was like, Veil just seems like such a waste here. Yeah, it synergizes nicely with the Jakiro, but I don't think it's the right item. Look at Arteezy's HP, by the way. Perfect decision by the Jakiro to go for the pipe. He completely dies if he doesn't pipe that.
Yep.
So that's a really nice heads up there from universe. Oh, Envy's dead again. Easily dead. Oh my god.
And they're going to get Pylite die as well. Tier 2 at top does end up dropping. And Arteezy tried to deny it. Had no luck, as Visage gets credit for the kill. And everyone else going to make it away. So EG loses a tower, but gets a couple more high-profile kills, and we're still in range of perhaps 5-position Eternal Envy.
Okay, that Invoker, when he was attacking Envy, looked like he had double damage, but essentially he did, because he was around the Aura of Venge, which is level 3. Venge, I'm wondering if he specifically picked up this Helm of the Dominator just for this Alpha Wolf, because it's just following him around.
I think so.
Like, what other reason would you do it? You're not going to go Satanic. Like, that's... It has to have been for that. Either the Wolf or at least a stun creep from, like, a Centaur. But yeah, he was hitting damn hard with Zai nearby.
Well, hell, just look how hard the Venge is hitting right now. Venge alone is hitting for 230 odd damage.
Yep, with the aura from himself and then Arteezy. Crazy stuff, man.
And I want to see how EG plays this out. Pylite die with that BKB picked up. Still a nice answer to Arteezy's Drow Ranger, especially since he did opt for no magic immunity. Decided to go with the butterfly, which makes sense. I mean, Spirit Breaker and anti-carry because his bashes do go through BKB. But still going to leave her a little susceptible to being stunned down. So for Fear, what do you think Fear is going for? Hex here?
Oh, this is not enough Alpha though. He could be in some trouble. He tries to TP out. Do they have another additional stun? It doesn't matter because Arteezy hits like a truck. Hits for over 330 damage. And Envy dies again. Another charge coming on to Fear. Do they have enough to get him? I think they do.
Yep, I believe so. And there's the ulti. Just to make sure. So like you said, they got AUI. I was actually watching the Fear gank instead. As Envy's struggles continue. And if the Spirit Breaker goes and hits 3 creeps, it will be at 30 minutes and Envy will be the least farmed on his whole team.
Yep.
So I kind of want to see that.
Come on, Pylite die. Just get that camp.
Come on, dude.
Don't die, man.
No. So close. He's so close.
He sold something. He sold something.
Oh,
he gets this kill.
Yep.
It's gonna be 5-position Envy. Oh,
no. They abandon it. They don't want to engage, anticipating EG might have been a little too close for comfort. Oh, so close. Go farm. He's still not up. He's still not up. Envy's still dead for 2 seconds.
He'll beat another one. No worries.
Blink Dagger done on Universe's Jakiro. Meantime, Arteezy finishes off the Roshan, freshly spawned, and that was Cheese picked up by PPD. So 3 Roshes and 30 minutes, not too bad a clip for the evil geniuses. Gold graph, still pretty close. I mean, at 30 minutes, 7,500 gold is nothing to sneeze at, but it's not the end of the world. And experience is about 10k. If you're C9, how do you reset here? Like, you have to be feeling like everything's just slowly being pulled apart. Like, how do you keep that from happening now?
I still think they're like fine in late game. Both of these teams have, I think, about equal footing in late game. But they just have to be worrisome of the amount of damage. Like, when you look at this lineup of EG, if you're CLOUD9, you're like, okay, well, we can fight this, and they will do this much damage to us, but it's totally skewed, which is because of all the auras. And I think that's what's really messing with C9. It's like, okay, I can tank this much damage, and then I can cast my Dark Pact, and I'll be okay after that because I have my ultimate. But it's not the case, because EG just has, like, 50 more damage on every single one of their heroes than you would expect. And I really do think that that's actually skewing things for a bit for CLOUD9, and they're not expecting it. So I think they just need to take it a little bit slow, account for that extra damage that EG has, and play accordingly.
Zai is definitely preserving this Alpha Wolf, by the way. He was getting charged up at top. He got out as quick as he could. And TP'd, and he actually made sure he microed the wolf back to his side. So
he's sending it to Arteezy now. Watch Arteezy's damage when he has it too. It's going to be like, I don't know, plus 180. Oh, well, plus 180, plus 200. Oh
he's
my
hitting for
God.
400 damage right now.
And that's without the negative armor from Wave of Terror and without the aura from Venge. Imagine if he gets a crit stick. If he gets a Daedalus, he's going to be critting. Oh my God.
It's gonna be like PA
numbers.
It's gonna be coup de grace numbers. 2 Scythe of Ice, 2 hexes done, 1 on each side. As Feita finishes his, and Fear completing his as well. So the battle with initiation bound to begin now. It's always the case in Dota, but Whenever you start getting hexes and yules in this number, now we're going to have a very nice silence. That Gus caught him, and that hex used. Beta down as soon as he finished his own hex. And they're going to take a tier 2 off of this for sure. Don't think, he couldn't buy back if he wanted to because he just bought that hex. Has no gold left. And he's down for 70 seconds. And I think if EG realizes this, they're going to get at least a tier 3.
Hitting for, what, 500? Over 500?
85 gajillion damage. Every shot.
Radiant structures are
Get that Alpha Wolf in there, Zai. There you go.
Radiant's
Yep, got
middle
him right in
tower
range.
is under
And the
attack.
Venusaur. And the Alacrity.
Oh my god.
Radiant's middle
Down
barracks
goes
are
tier
under
3,
attack.
and as soon as I say it, down goes Arax. We're going to have E come in. He better hope he stays alive. There's going to be a nice ulti from Bone 7, though. Caught most of the team. Here's going to be the one to charge. Universal Ace and Ice Path that got 2. Got Bone 7 and Eternal Envy, and now he's hexed out again. They will bring him down off the back of that, and EG with a triple kill on Arteezy. Looks like they just blew this game wide open. Arteezy with that Aegis has no problem feeding. They're going to get at least another Rax. That was a buyback from Envy, and PPD not even going to die here. Ice Path the follow, a die back for Eternal Envy. That will make him. 5 position Eternal Envy is real life. And they're going to GG it, and of course, and doesn't like the way this feels. So EG,
Radiant's
in a
middle
game that
barracks
looked like it could have swung in just about any direction, if a few things had gone right for Cloud9, instead, they blow the game wide open. Tell you what, kiddos, Binge, Drow, Helm of the Dominator, not bad. Go do it in your pub games.
The damage was real. Let's just say that